preparing, hang on. Okay, I think we're good.
Okay. All right, so the time is 6:01 and I call the April 28th meeting of the Board of Selectmen to order. We'll start off with the approval of the minutes, and I think we have 2 minutes. We have, I don't remember the dates on them right now.
April 14th, April 21st.
Okay, yep. We'll start
Last
with.
Tuesday and the Tuesday before.
Okay, so we'll start with April 14th.
I make a motion be accepted as written. I read them and
Motion
had no problem.
seconded.
Okay, so
Yep,
motion was
seconded.
made by Ron and seconded by Skipp to approve the minutes of the April 14th meeting. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, hearing none, they're approved. And the next minutes are for the special meeting on April 21st.
And I don't.
I make a
think
motion.
I
Oh,
can't second
you don't have
it because I didn't read them.
Okay, so I make a motion that they be approved as written.
Okay, and I'll second
Tracy,
that.
to you.
Yep, I'll second. So Skipp made the motion and I, Tracy, seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, hearing none, the special meeting minutes are approved as well. Citizens' comments. I didn't receive any citizens' comments today. So board and committee reports. Don't really have any of those. I can say Public Works they started sweeping this week, so that's something that is being worked on for Public Works. Correspondence and announcements. Just have an email I got today or received today from Comcast. Just notifying us that they are extending commitments to Xfinity customers through to June 30th, and that includes no disconnects and late fees. Wi-Fi is free for says for everyone, anyone who needs it. There's a whole bunch of other things. I'll post it on the website for anyone that's interested. And that's all I have for correspondence. So we're on to old business. We have the budget for fiscal year 2021. You guys all got a copy of that?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know if you had any comments or suggestions.
Julie, is she there?
Yeah,
Yep, she's here.
Julie, you said that we got 20,000 in investment income at 1.5%, right?
we were getting that last year, and with everything going on, the feds cut the interest rate, and so our interest for what we're getting for investments now is 0.25% instead of 1.25%. So
all right, because I thought you had said 0.5 and your numbers just didn't work out to me. So,
No.
all right, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's a big loss.
It's not
there.
good, but
20,000 we're going to lose in investment income.
yeah.
So that makes it a little bit higher than we thought. It was 213. It's more like 230 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we lost the farmer's market grant, and we have the ECS cuts, and that's where our revenue is lost.
Yeah. nothing you can do.
Nope. So that
That's-
brings between what we have so far in the budget. It brings the general government budget up by $52,398, and the last budget that the school turned in was over $63,526. So between the two of them, and with our loss of revenue, it gives us a 0.39 mill rate increase. So I don't know if you had any questions or anything else. Some things we have to think about that are also on the agenda too are the beach. And
The parade.
parade, oh yeah, the parade.
Yep.
Those are all on the agenda. The parade would be, we're probably fine for the parade for next year's budget. And I think that even if we don't open the beaches, we still need security there to, it's something we'd have to think about too.
'Cause they'll be swimming there.
I don't
That's
want to cut that. So,
Security.
yeah, I don't want to cut that just in case.
Yeah.
People are going to be looking for an outlet to get out, no matter what. So
Mhm.
there are going to be people at Finn Beach.
Yeah,
We still need to keep that.
yep.
Okay, on the budget, sorry, it took me a second to get that open. I looked at it earlier and I was just trying to get it open. So 0.39% mill rate increase.
Yep.
And we had how much in the general fund?
We have, I don't know if
You
you
had
guys,
450,000, I think.
we have,
extra.
in order to stay in our where we would want to be, to be at 11.6%, which is comfortable, we can spend 458, we're not spend, but we can use $458,000. And we can use that towards, to offset the mill rate increase for this time. That would be $232,956. So we can use the money for that. We can use it for, to pay off the lease on the plow truck, which would be $125,000. And
I don't know the exact amount right now.
yeah, we're still waiting to see. That's an approximate amount.
Right.
And then
But that's a decent ballpark. So, I mean, that gets us what we need for right now to talk about.
And then with that too, we still have some money to put towards some capital projects. We can put 31,000 towards road paving, 20,000 towards tree removal, 16,000 towards the library roof, and 33,000 towards the fire department breathing equipment that they needed, that they're getting in installments because it's expensive.
Scott
That brings it to $457,956. Rounded up to 458,000. And that's where we are with that right now.
Right, so that still leaves us well within the comfortable zone that we want to maintain.
Yep, That after that, it will leave us at 11.6% in the unassigned fund, so.
And on top of that too, anything that you get from FEMA goes into the undesignated fund.
Yep.
If we get anything.
If we get it, yep.
And if they get money from the school for any technology and stuff, there's the Education Stabilization Fund. There's a couple different things that the schools can apply for. That will go in the general fund.
Because we also have to be ready for whatever hits us next year. I
Yeah.
mean, the next budget year that we'd be planning for, we could potentially be seeing a lot of revenue cuts from the state on the extreme end.
Mashantucket
Yeah.
Fund.
Yeah, especially the Pequot, the funds we get from the casino, which is around, it's over $80,000 that we get from the casino fund, so. That's the one we just have to keep our eyes on. So,
Yeah, and it's kind of just hitting me. I think we have to forecast for next year extreme doom and gloom on what we get from the state, because there's going to be major hits to the economy. I mean, I'm not saying anything no one hasn't already thought about, but what can we do to prepare for next year's budget? This year's budget, we've got a plan, but next year's budget, what can we do based on the assumption that things are going to be the worst any of us have seen as a board? So, and that's just thinking out loud right now. But
Yep.
I think we're going to be having several meetings to discuss that as far in advance as we can. So we've got time to do something, if there's anything we can do other than figure out what to cut. So.
And you got to be careful. You can't cut it this year just because of the coronavirus, and then realize that the following year you're going to need it. You know, so you got to be careful at what you do cut.
Yeah, but economic models right now are forecasting, not just recession, but this is depending on how long things go, whether or not there's a second or a third wave of COVID-19. This is economic forecasting is already talking about depression, a step beyond a recession. So that's where things get where we have to really make hard decisions at that point.
right, and that's something that we can think about now too. If we're comfortable with the amount in the unassigned fund, to use that now, or if we want to start thinking about asking boards and commissions this year to have a spending freeze for the rest of their budget, so that we can put that in the unassigned fund to use towards the money off the taxes as well.
I think. No, Tracy, I like that idea. I like that a lot. It's because that's where we're trying to prepare for whatever next year is. It's going to be a significant step down from where we're at in terms of budget planning this year, the level that we need to make up for. So I think a freeze is the right order.
I agree.
Okay. And then that would be if they have any, of course, if they have any outstanding bills, they can pay them. But if they have any other thing that they had planned to use their money for and they hadn't done it yet, should we have them come to us first for approval, or depending on what they got going on, or? just say if they haven't done it yet, then,
I think our best, so my recommendation is that bills that are pending, we have to pay those.
Mhm.
But anything beyond bills that are pending, we have to put a freeze right now. Not even come to us, just say, that's it. Just because it's, the sooner we start taking action to prepare for next year, the more we minimize the impact that we will have to deal with next year.
I agree. It's going to happen, and might as well start getting used to it. So go from there.
You know,
Okay.
part of our discussion for next year will be, you know, each board and commission prioritizing, you know, their must-haves for continued operation. And, you know, if it's not 100% necessary per statute, then we don't plan on it for next year. And even the stuff that is required per statute, we're going to need to ask for that to be prioritized by each board and commission, so that if we have to start making deeper cuts, even if it's required per statute, we know what we can start cutting there as well. I mean, that's the way we've got to think about this going into, not just this budget year, it is what it is, but for next year, we start planning now.
Mhm. Okay. Anything else on the budget going forward, or, I mean, for next year's? Do we want
I've
to,
got enough. Go ahead.
I don't know if we want to approve what we have to go forward with it, or if you want to hold it and go over it more. We have, I'm going to overlap into the timeline, which is the next thing. We got to figure out our timeline for public hearings and meetings and stuff. Our next meeting is May, what was it, the 13th or 12th? May.
Well, it's the
So what?
12th.
12th?
May 12th. Yep.
May 12th. And for if we want to plan a town meeting and see if we can have one. I talked to Giselle and Chandler today, tax assessor and tax collector, about the dates that the latest dates they could go to have everything turned in for the taxes to go out for July 1st. And the latest would be the first or second week of June. So like June 9th as a proposed for a town meeting. And if we can't.
Does that also include the deadline for the what we approved at the special meeting last week?
Yeah, we have to have the budget passed before the end of June in order to have the tax bills ready to go out for July 1st. So that Giselle said that would give her enough time to have everything prepared for the tax bills to go out on time for the 1st. So to comply with that. So if we did the town meeting on June 9th, pending what happens if we can have meetings, how things go. And if not, then we would do what we can with the executive order and approve the budget as the, can't remember the phrase now. It's like the, what is it? No, I can't remember.
What are you trying to say?
What the statute says, that the Board of Selectmen, if you don't have a Board of Finance, is the budget-making authority.
Budget authority, yeah.
The budget-making authority, so. But we will plan like a town meeting. But we still have to do the public hearing, which I think if we did them backwards counting, May 26th, I think we figure.
Yeah, yep.
So that still gives us enough time to approve our budget at the next meeting if we just want to hold off and look things over again and present the vote on it at the May 12th meeting or now for the before the public hearing to present it out.
I don't see us getting together anymore to go over the budget. So I think
Okay.
what we've got now, I'm okay with moving forward with approving this budget to go forward.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So do we want to make a motion and second it to approve
This budget that you've given us?
yeah, the selectmen's budget to present at a public hearing, for the public hearing?
I'll
I
make a motion as, all right,
Go ahead, Ron.
Skip. I make a motion as such
All right,
to
so,
approve the budget.
all right, so
And I
Ron,
second the motion.
Ron made the motion and Skip seconded it to approve the budget as presented today to present at the public hearing. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, hearing none. That will be the budget we present at the public hearing, which we will do for May 26th, if that works. And I will be working on how we're going to do that and have that ready for the next meeting to go over. As far as the town meeting goes in June, I know there's other towns that are planning on doing a town meeting in June as well, too. They're like right around the same time we are, so.
Well, I don't think, for us being such a small town and with our typical turnout for town meetings, even if we had 100 people show up,
We could
the gym
space
is
them.
large enough. Exactly. The gym is large enough to have 6 feet between rows and then 6 feet between seats. So we could easily accommodate, and we stipulate that, everyone has to wear masks. For ID checking, it will be showing photo ID. I think even with a mask on, we'll still be able to verify IDs. Again, small town. That plays
Right.
to, our advantage.
Yep.
So
we
I
gotta
think
see
we
if
can
this-
physically hold the meeting. Yeah.
We gotta see if the school's available too that week, so. I mean, that sounds weird to say, but.
I was going to say because the basketball tournament, or
If they go back to school, we have 8th grade kids. We got to think maybe they'll have something going on for the 8th graders. I don't know. That's if they go back to school. We still don't know that either.
true.
If,
True.
yeah.
Yeah. So, okay.
I'm considering May 20th a soft date, not a hard date for schools reopening.
Right. All right, so that's budget. The next new business Memorial Day Parade. Julie sent in all the applications that we had to apply for the permits and everything for the Memorial Day Parade. And so far, the only thing we got back was from the National Guard. And they said that they don't think that it's going to be going on. It was pretty much due to everything that's going on right now. They don't see Memorial Day parades happening. So they declined coming.
Oh, I have to agree with them as far as I'm concerned. That's pushed. That would be a big crowd together that you don't need.
So.
I know it's nice for Memorial Day, but as
I
far as
know.
I'm concerned, it should
And-
be scratched.
We were talking to, who runs it, and yeah, it's not a fun choice to make, but I think that, I don't know if we're gonna be able to have the Memorial Day parade this year, so we need to decide if we're gonna officially cancel it.
I would go with officially canceling it, is my thoughts.
Okay,
I agree.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I'll go so far as to say that I make a motion that we cancel the Memorial Day parade for this year.
I'll second it.
okay, so Skip made the motion and Ron seconded to cancel the Memorial Day parade this year. All in favor, say aye.
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 All right, so with regrets, we'll be canceling the Memorial Day parade this year. All right, next up is Finn Beach. We need to decide. I don't know what's gonna happen with the beaches and stuff. I don't see a problem with keeping it open and keeping the security. I think we might just, the only place where we could have a sticking point is if there's like a crowd limit, or to figure out how to do the fee, sell passes, if we have to restrict the number of people there. That's my only question. And even when we sell the passes, they're still not, it's not overly crowded there. But then we have to think, if they do close the other beaches, is it gonna?
Yeah.
Well, not just that, but it's also think about if we're still in non-essential people not working, then if you have a lot of people at home looking for stuff to do, I could see the beach crowds going up.
So should we just sell passes, just continue as usual, or the cat's trying to break in?
I think we sell passes, and I think we need to do some calculations on what would be maximum capacity, maintaining safe, effective distancing.
Okay,
And that we pass a resolution for that. Right. We'll have to do some math. I mean, we can easily figure out from a map on just the size of Finn Beach, and I think we can come up with effective number of people that we could have there safely. Tracey, I think you may be right in that, it's going to be, Finn Beach is never really crowded. But I think we should be prepared just in case that the people being out of work and deciding, hey, we're not working, we're going to the beach.
mm-hmm. Okay, okay. All right, we can do that. We'll just plan on going forward, and we'll figure out the capacity, the beach capacity, and see where that takes us. Put it back on the agenda at the next meeting.
Yeah, because something we can talk about. If it depends on the year too. Last year there wasn't many people out there, but you might get a hot summer, so you don't know.
Right, and I gotta get the numbers from Pam, exactly how many passes we sold and everything last year. I know she has all that. That'll give us more of an idea too. All right, so next on the agenda is the plan for reopening the town hall. We have staff meetings every Monday morning with the office staff at the town hall, and we started talking about what would we need in the town hall to reopen. And again, this all depends on what the phases are to open up for this, as far as the state goes. But it's couple of the suggestions were to limit the access into some of the offices, especially like the assessor's office. There's no way to keep distance between people and the staff in the assessor's office. So like Giselle has the half door. Julie doesn't have anything either, and neither does Beth in the zoning office, to put space between the employees and the people coming in. So we were thinking of maybe like baby gates to put in the door to like show the space, the distance. And we were thinking of ways to do face barriers. Julie and Pam were looking, and actually Emily because the library needs it too. Emily had mentioned that some libraries were using plastic shower curtains and like hanging them down for the face part. Because once we looked into the cost of plexiglass, the shower curtains looked like a lot better idea.
And
So,
just so we're clear, you do mean transparent shower curtains, right?
yes, the plastic, the plastic ones. So, and they already have the grommets in it to hang, and we can use like the
A tension bar, just a spring tension bar that you just pull it out and twist lock the spring.
So those were the cheapest options to put the spaces in.
Do we want to put tape on the floor? So if there's more than, if there's a line, if there's more than one person waiting to see someone.
Yeah, we'll probably have to do that, especially going towards where the crowds usually are, which are at the tax collector's office and going into the zoning office. There's usually lines there, so we would have to control that. We're also talking about having, it depends on how the state's going to roll stuff out. If people are going to be wearing masks longer, we might have to have some masks in the town hall for people if they come to the town hall and they don't have one, where they can put one on when they come in. So that was another thing. And also, I did get an email from like ServPro. They do extensive cleaning, like I guess they're doing extensive cleaning before places open. So I didn't know if that's something we wanted to do at the beginning too. Maybe there could be, if we did the town hall, the library, the fire station, the school. Like, I don't know if that's something that we even need to do, or if it's something I've heard other places doing it too. So I'm bringing it up to see if it's anything that anyone thinks we need.
So my recommendation is we don't need it, because that's more for a place where you've got high traffic of people up to a recent time. And how long has town hall been closed now?
Right.
To the public?
Yeah.
Several weeks. So anything that was sitting on a surface, even a porous surface is well beyond the lifespan of something living there. And as soon as you started describing ServPro, I can just picture the COVID-19 special cleaning invoice at 5 times normal rate for a service that they offer.
Yeah. No, I've heard other places doing it, and I thought the same thing, that I don't really think that it's going to do much, but
I think our current cleaning lady has been doing a great job. She's been doing extra to wipe down all the keyboards, wipe down all the door handles. She's been doing that every week as well already.
Right.
So.
Now, that being said, once we reopen to the public and we have people coming in on a regular basis, we may need to increase our cleaning schedule there. But Julie, as you just said,
Mhm.
If they're already doing more, then that may be adequate.
Yep. Okay. I think that's all we talked about. Julie, am I missing anything about the reopening stuff?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. COVID.
So are we going to just, sorry, going back to that, are we just going to follow state guidelines for reopening? If it is May 20th, it is, or if it gets moved, it's whatever the state says?
Yeah, I think that we,
Okay.
we are doing, one of the things we are doing more now is the masks for the people that are in there. I need to send out to clearly make sure that all of the staff that is in the town hall knows that there are the executive order requirements that all workplaces need to wear masks. And that when people are in the town hall that are staff, they are working and they need to wear a mask if they're working within 6 feet of someone else, or if they're in common space. If they're in their own office, then they don't have to put their mask on if they're in their own office by themselves. But if they are in a common space, or if they are working close to someone else, per the executive order, they have to have a mask on. So I just have to make sure that everyone knows that. So.
The one thing I just thought of, Tracy, was the mailbox outdoors. We ordered that.
Oh, right. A drop box. Right now we use the library book drop for drop boxes. Pam, our town clerk, had mentioned that every town's going to be getting a drop box for the for the primary election, for some to put ballots in a ballot box as an outside drop box, and we will be able to keep that box and we can use it for other things when it's not being used for a ballot box. So it will be outside as a drop box.
We found one online on Amazon. I might not have told you that, Tracy, yesterday for $29.99. It's just a metal mailbox. And Pam said it's big enough for hers because she's concerned that there's so many times when you can't use it, and she would like to have one that she can use at any time. And it was only $30 though.
Okay.
The guy said they can attach it to the brick on the outside, and it's small. It's only like, just big enough to put a couple, the 8 by 11.
Oh, it hangs on the wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hangs out, it'll hang out on the wall.
I was like, people are gonna steal it. I thought it was like.
It'll be attached to the concrete onto the brick. Just like a mailbox on the outside of a house.
Stuck to the side of the wall. Okay, yep, that sounds good. All right. So on to the next part of the agenda is the COVID-19 testing and reporting. I put this on the agenda because I wanted to let you guys know that they've changed the reporting of the COVID-19 cases. Before the positives, if you had a positive in town, it would go to the local health department, which for us is Uncas Health, and they would notify me. And then it would get put into the public, the state report in public. Now it's flipped. So now the test results are set up so that the doctors can enter them directly into the state data. So the test results are going to the state first, and then to Uncas Health, and then to me. So the cases have been coming up. We have 5 positives now in town, and one death. They show up in the state report before I hear them. So that's just an example of just letting you know how the reporting goes. So I don't know if you have any questions. And some of the, like the last positive I got was a couple of days ago, and the test was actually done on April 4th. So that's just how long the gap is between the test being done and the results coming down to us. So
I would expect that to start getting faster because it was the initial assay was what 48 to 72 hours was the processing time if there were no delays, and my son just had one done before his surgery last week, and the assays are now available, not everywhere, but on demand, 15 minutes for the assay. So as that becomes more broad, I expect we'll start to see an increase in the speed of reporting from tests.
right. So it's not,
But
it's impossible to, every time we get a positive, be like, oh, we got another one in town. So it's, people can see, people that want to know how many we have, the governor puts out the report every night on the state website, and I think he puts it on his Facebook page every night. So if people want to know what the totals are, they can go there and see. But pretty much as far as the health department and everything goes, it's just you need to, the numbers, they were expected to increase. Now they're, I don't think anyone even knows what's going on now. Leveling off, some are going down. It just depends on where you are. So I don't know. Any questions about that?
No.
Okay. Last on the agenda is the Valentine small business support. I put this on the agenda. I asked the EDC to help me and reach out, like to see if we could come up with some ideas to support our Valentine small businesses right now. We need to keep the businesses we have. We need to support them right now during this hard time. So we created a page on the Valentine EDC website that has resources for small businesses. When I get information, I add it there and share it on Facebook. Also, the EDC came up with an idea to have like theme days to support businesses, and they are currently reaching out through our, trying to find my notes where that went. They are reaching out to small businesses in our directory right now to see who's open and who would like to participate in our theme day so we can promote businesses in town. And I'm trying to figure out what I did with, oh, here it is. Some ideas we had was Maintenance Monday to like remind people of the local hardware store, or to hire a local tradesperson. Takeout Tuesday to support local food places. Wind Down Wednesday to purchase something that helps you relax and wind down. Thankful Thursday to purchase gift cards or gifts for someone you're thankful for. Farm Friday to support local farms, and a We Care Weekend to show your support for frontline workers. So that's something that the EDC has been working on to see who's interested in participating. Yeah. Just wanted to let you guys know what was going on with that. And that's all I have.
Sorry, I should have done this at the top. I want to make a motion to add one other quick topic.
Okay.
I make a motion to add to the agenda Zoom town meeting security.
Okay.
I'll second that.
All right. So the motion's been made and seconded to add Zoom security to the agenda? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, go ahead.
So if you haven't seen on the news, Zoom bombing is hitting large and small governments, particularly small towns. And this is right now there's a couple of small tweaks we can make to the security we've got to the meetings, and I can discuss that with both of you, Julie, Tracey, offline. But it's basically just adding a password to the meeting invite and changing the meeting room number each time. Because otherwise it's going to, it becomes easy to figure out what the meeting room number is, and if we don't have a password set, then anyone can join with that, and you wind up with kids, malcontents, anyone just trying to have a few laughs, but joining a meeting and just spewing, just cursing, spewing racist epithets, and it can be very disruptive. So before we get hit, I suggest we make changes to change the meeting room numbers for each meeting and add a password.
Okay.
So there was a town in Rhode Island that got hit already. So there is something close to home.
Yeah, I think the meeting room numbers are always different, and we do have the option to put a password in if we want to. We just haven't been.
Yep. So the meeting room number is, so that was a recent update to Zoom. They used to be static. So Zoom is making back-end security changes because of some bad press around Zoom bombing.
Mhm.
So, okay. So at this point, we should just need to add a password to all of our meetings and make sure we put that out so that we
Okay.
don't get hit and become a newsworthy item.
There is the ability, we did in the BAA meeting on Monday, is the waiting room. So the host can allow people, the only people allowed in are who's allowed in by the host. Because they had
Yep.
to have people in at different times, and you can remove people as well. So that's an option.
Yep, that was one of the other security enhancements that Zoom made on the back end. So I suggest we start out, depending on which meeting it is, if we expect a lot of public involvement, then the waiting room is probably a good idea. But otherwise, for all our other meetings, I suggest just a password.
Okay. Anything else,
That's all.
Ron?
No, that's fine with me.
Okay. All right.
Ron, would you like to make the motion?
I make a motion to adjourn.
I second the motion.
All right, the motion's been made by Ron and seconded by Skipp to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
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 Hearing none, we
All
are
right.
adjourned.
Good night, people. Thank you very
Good
much.
night. Thank you.
Hey, just a note, by the
Wait.
way, our YouTube feed is a full 30 seconds behind what we're actually saying.